Most anticipating fight at featherweight for a long time.
Do you want to run us in this one?
I can do, yeah.
Go on.
Alexander Volkanovski defending his strap for the X amount of time. I've literally forgotten. How many title defenses is he on now?
It's difficult when you throw the old the Makhachev fights in there, don't you?
Oh, I know. Right. 5 consecutive title defenses. There you go. Against the undefeated Ilia Topuria, 14-0, who's been on an absolute tear since arriving in the UFC. Like, how many knockouts is that in a... Well, okay, decision Josh Emmett, but it was complete annihilation.
Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather he knocked me out after that score. 50-42, one of the judges.
Yeah.
50-40.
Five finishes in 7 fights.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty mad. But a lot of questions surrounding this. Starting off then with Ilia Topuria, the challenger, who has been laying waste to this division's elite grapplers and strikers, and in impressive fashion too. He's been dominating, without a doubt, levels above the competition. But just how many levels will we find out on the night? Do you think he may be too confident coming into this? Because he's changed his Instagram handle to UFC champion 15-0, and it looks like he's weighing heavy on that previous outcome of Volkanovski's fight against Makhachev.
Yeah, look, the moment when I saw him walking into the octagon with a turtleneck on, looking like a James Bond villain, I was like, who's this kid growing up to be? Who's this? It's a lot's gone to his head. But look, he's backing up what he's been able to do. I think, is he going to be too confident to it? What builds confidence? It's your achievements. And like you said, he's put away the wrestlers. He's put away the strikers. But not only that, he's made them look silly.
He has.
Which for me, think that his confidence is warranted. However, I do think he will look at this as the toughest opponent yet, because there's a belt around him. If there wasn't a belt there, maybe he might have a little bit of complacency. You know,
he's also
been
filming a documentary during this process as well. Like, that's how confident he is. You know, but he's up against a Volkanovski who he's not really had any chinks in his armor at featherweight.
Yeah, okay, that's important. The division, yeah.
That's what he's forgetting here.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's underestimating Volk here. And look, I'm saying that Volk's turnaround against Makhachev I think it was too soon. And I think that does weigh heavy on the outcome of this fight, potentially. But I think Topuria needs to keep a cool head, though, when he's in there.
Yeah, that knockout was pretty devastating. And if you want to talk about soon turnovers, how about between Makhachev 1 and Makhachev 2? That was a silly decision. I think it was really looking forward to pleasing people rather than really checking whether he was being sure that he was ready for it. Because you can't really do that again. And he's got to wait for different things to happen in the lightweight division now for him to even have a look over that fence anytime soon. But look, he's an opportunity taker. A lot of people talking about his age and everything as well. I think we see these narratives long enough, don't we? We see the narrative of this absolute dominator in the division, doing well, killing it, and then someone comes along and takes a friend from him. It happens every now and then. We've not seen it this year yet. We haven't seen it for a while since Shevchenko. So it's about high time. We do see someone dethrone an absolute legacy champion. Prior to that, it was, of course, Amanda Nunes, which everyone sort of had such confidence in her as well. And that's where you kind of see the complacency really bleed in once you've been doing it for so long, once you've been holding that belt and that strap for so long. My opinion in this one, there's this very serious threat in Topuria coming up the ranks and just, like Infinity Stones, he's conquering the striker, he's conquering the grappler. I think when it comes up to this, what he's going to be really looking to acquire or achieve, if he's going to unlock an achievement, it would be just his ability to beat Volkanovski mentally, basically. So you've got the fighter IQ of Volkanovski, which is going to be something he's going to have to best in this one. Not just physically, but he's really going to have to bring his mind into the game if he's going to be able to beat him in that area too. But, we know his hands are there. We know his grappling's there. is his mind there? Well, if it is, I think he's got all three he needs to get the job done.
Yeah, no, indeed. Yeah, I can't agree more with that.
It's an interesting one, though. Such an exciting fight.
I know. But, it does come down to, of course, that fight IQ of Volk and whether or not he can potentially tire Topuria over those rounds, because he does fight at quite a high pace as well.
We've seen Topuria do a 5-round yet?
We have, yeah. Of course, against Josh Emmett. Of course,
yeah.
Josh Emmett, not the quickest of featherweights. He's explosive, don't get me wrong. But, he's not exactly somebody who's capable of fighting at a high pace throughout 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Volkanovski is that guy. So, it's...
And
easily
Emmett gets a bit stiff as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Volkanovski.
And he has some injuries in his time as well. So, for me, it's going to be intriguing to see whether Volk can beat up that front leg of Topuria and just kind of make Topuria miss and then capitalize for me.
It's going to be a big question. It is going to be a big question. Do you think this hits the ground?
I think it can.
Shall we look at what they look like grappling-wise?
Yeah, I think it can. But maybe it would be Volk to initiate and put Topuria down on his back to kind of wear him out. But I think Topuria is quite good off of his back as well. Quite underrated in that area. Triangle straight armbar in Brave CF. Anaconda choke. He's got a couple of guillotines on his resume as well.
Didn't he take Jai Herbert down as well in that fight? Or he just punched him clean?
No, he that was a clean knockout on that one. I'm not sure if there was any grappling involved in that. So, yeah, and we've seen him show some good wrestling as well.
He certainly has.
But let's just see what his counter wrestling is going to be like against Volk.
Takedown defense seems to be relatively strong, 92%. In terms of who's going to be initiating the wrestling, if you think Volk's going to come after that, I always thought that Topuria's power was somewhere on par with what Emmett was, and I would have put Emmett more powerful than Volk, even, to be honest. Striking wise,
it's Topuria's boxing, man. It's insane. To give striking in this is going to be really hard.
Sure, we'll get to that in just as I mean, looking at some of the differentials before we go into the next thing, then it's output. Volk's has that. He certainly does. He's got high output, and then absorb per minute is around about the same for them both. If you look at the money odds on this one, look, minus, it's difficult. Even the money line is hard to differentiate them. Minus 112 for Volk, only a slight favorite, but that's the 108 for Topuria. So, yeah, there's not a lot in it here. Okay, cool. Let's get those gauges up then and see where we are when it comes to the striking of this. You said that this is going to be one of the hardest ones to do, striking, huh?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Looking at paper here is going to help us out. Output is, it's Volk. Legs, leg kicks, head, I don't know. It is tough.
Yeah, maybe Volk's got a bit more of a diverse game, but
who's going to have power?
It's the boxing. Power is Topuria, I think, all day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Topuria gets the power. Yeah, fair enough.
But, yeah, when he puts his boxing together, it is insane. In fact, I was just going to go on to the poll we put earlier. 64% are going with Team Volk over Team Topuria this weekend.
Wow,
so
you guys
that's quite impressive. But, yeah.
How close was that? 50 something and 50? 40?
60 something.
60 something.
64%, did I say? 64% for Volk.
Wow. 36 to Topuria. Okay, so you guys are edging towards Volk. And look, he's been doing it for so long. Why wouldn't he continue to do so? Well, I'll draw to your attention Shevchenko. I'll draw to your attention Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, the times do come, but
it's like once a year, isn't it?
Is it really Volk's time?
It's about once a year. Is this the year for Volk, or could I see it being?
Yeah, we usually get at least one fall off the perch.
Yeah.
A big name. Volk's kept it for so long though, as well.
It makes him perfect candidate for it. To be fair,
speed. I kind of want to go for Volk.
Yep,
I think.
Yeah, I would agree on that. To be
cardio
fair.
As well.
Yeah, he's built differently. And then when we're looking at grappling and striking, Volk's used it.
Volk's submission
so
defense is really good.
I don't think anyone wants to go there with him, to be fair. I can't remember the last time we wanted to take him there. Of course, Makachev, yeah, but different weight
defensively, he was defensively sound there, and yeah, against a much bigger dude. Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it?
Grappling.
It's really hard.
I think I'll go Volk in that.
Yeah.
For
grappling. Volk gets grappling.
And I would want it to go striking, but I don't know, man.
I've seen what I've seen from Topuria.
Topuria's boxing is too good. Volk's overall striking, the way he's able to utilise his kicks as well is really good.
Yeah, here's the thing as well. Here's a factor we also got to lean on. For a long time, I would have said striking this division. Historically, I've always liked Holloway striking. It was so sick and it was so good. Volk showed us that he's bested that.
Yeah,
he's bested that. He's been tried against what we've seen to be some of the best strikers in the UFC. Volkanovski's
and his range is really good as well.
What if I was to swap that round to that way, grappling wise? Are you so confident on grappling? We've seen Volk use it against Makachev defensively. It's been quite good. But I
think both guys are black
belts.
Who's
got the most submissions? Wins by submissions. It's Topuria.
Topuria's got 8.
62% of his wins have been by sub, and 12% of Volk's wins have been by. So I think we might end up having to lean on paper. Go on paper.
I think
because
but then
the fight time's different. But if we're looking at and also got
Volk's not submitted anyone in the UFC.
No.
And Bryce was a good grappler. Oh, actually, but then Topuria beat the piss out of him before that, though.
Did.
Before that, he submitted Bryce.
He did,
but strikes led to that.
Beating the submission artists, beating the power strikers, beating the strikers. Like that's the history of his last 3, I'd say. Jai's a good striker. Emmett's got the power. Bryce has got the grappling. The rest of it. And that's the 3 Infinity Stones. Now he's going after the mental,
the guy who can do it all,
ability.
The guy who can do it all in the division.
If he can conquer Volk, it's going to be on his fighter IQ, and then that will be the 4 Infinity Stones in his run to gold, I guess.
Yeah,
imagine.